I never want a year to go by where I feel like it was a wasted year. I want to take all of the pain, all of the successes, all of the growth, all of the lessons, all of the learning. I want to compound it every single year so that every year is better than the previous year. Every year becomes better. And when every year becomes better, do you see how we're going up the stairs instead of going sideways or down? I don't want my clients to say 2024 wasn't the best year, and so I'm excited to get rid of it. No, I want my clients to say 2024 was a great learning year. I'm going to take what I learned in 2024 and I'm going to expand on it so that in 2025, I have exponential growth. You see, we want to forget if we weren't as successful as we wanted to be. That's wrong. That's the wrong way of thinking. If your business has been stagnant the last 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 24, 48 months, January is just another day. 2024 and 2025, it means absolutely nothing different changes. Hey, what did I do well? What could I have done better? What do I need to stop doing? What do I need to start doing? Who do I need to hang out with? What rooms do I? You never stopped to evaluate. You never had self-reflection. You never did that. You just thought the following year would miraculously change and your business would grow, but it doesn't work like that. Welcome back. Vikram Diol here, signing off for 2024. And what an amazing, wild, outstanding year this has been for myself and so many of my friends and clients and people just like you. So I just had my last coaching session with my personal coach, and we like to do it in person. And we sit down and she goes, let's talk about some things, right? And I came in, I was kind of tired, a little lethargic, right? It's been a long year. And she says, what's going on? And I started to explain to her all the things that I wanted to do that I didn't do. Sound familiar? Maybe like you? And I started explaining to her all these things, right? All these things. And she goes, okay. And she's listening and she goes, hey, can I flip the script a little bit? I'm like, yeah, what's up? She goes, what are the things you're proud of this year? And I was like, oh. And I was like, well, and she said, no, what are the things you're proud of? And I started getting into it. My energy started shifting. I didn't realize it, but my energy started to go up. And then she goes, what are some of the things that you're really proud of yourself for? And I started explaining like how after my breakup, I did a lot of self-work and I've been really focused in on who I want to be as a man and what kind of provider I want to be and what kind of leader do I want to be in our company and to our clients and giving back to community and all these things. And she's like watching and she's just taking her notes, right? And my energy's continually going up. And she goes, what do you want to reward yourself for? I was like, my energy dropped. She goes, hey, pause. When was the last time you rewarded yourself for something? I was like, oof, I don't know. She's like, you worked a whole year. You did so much stuff. You gave me this list of things that you're so proud of. She's like, you take care of your health, you take care of your clients, you take care of your company, you merge companies, all these things, right? But you don't celebrate ever. Whenever I say, hey, Vic, what are you going to celebrate this week? You always change the topic. You say, I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the gym or right? That's just stuff you're going to do anyways. Like you're not taking the day off to go to like a special class in the mountains, hike. You're just going to the gym. And don't you do that anyways? I go, yeah. And I kind of look down, right? Like a little kid getting in trouble, right? Like when your dad gives you that look of like, he's not sad, he's not disappointed, he's not angry. He's just kind of like, gives you that look like, why, son? Why aren't you doing the things that you know you need to do? And I started to think about it. And as we were talking more about the business, I said, one of the things I wrote on my mirror about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, was celebration for our team members, right? Our sales team. We have a sales team, right? Every good company should. And I go, but I stopped working on it. She goes, why? Why would you stop doing something you felt so important about, that you wrote it on your mirror with your pen? I said, well, it's hard. And she goes, why is it hard to find celebration? It doesn't have to be like big. It could be something small. And it's because I don't celebrate myself. So if you don't celebrate yourself, how do you celebrate others? It's very difficult, right? Hard to do things that are out of alignment and congruency. And so I stopped and I said, you're right. I said, well, I booked a trip tomorrow to go out of town. She goes, that's amazing. What are you going to do? I said, I don't know. It's like, I just wanted to get out of town. She's like, when was the last time you traveled? I was like, the last trip I took for personal pleasure was when my girlfriend and I broke up. She goes, I said, yeah, I've been a little traumatized because I don't feel great about it. Even the last time I took a trip where I was supposed to stay the night with a couple friends, we went to this nice city called Guadalupe, this beautiful hotel, right? And we were gonna have a fun night together after this workout event that we did. I ended up leaving that day and coming home. Just felt weird for me, right? We carry trauma we don't even know we carry until we work on it. So I stopped and I said, well, I'm booking a trip. I booked a trip. I got a nice hotel room, really swanky hotel, super excited about it. And she's like, awesome. But what happens next year, right? What's one of your goals for Q1? I said, it's to hire 2 new salespeople. She says, and then what do you get when you do that? I said, I get to hire 2 more the next month. And she goes, what's after that? I said, 2 more the next month. And she goes, that sounds pretty boring. I'm like, you're right, it is. It kind of sucked, kind of lame. There's no reward system. Do you have a reward system in your life so that you're encouraged to keep pushing? Because it's not just about doing the work. You do the work, but you don't ever reward yourself. Your body doesn't know, your mind, your brain doesn't know you've accomplished anything because we never stop to appreciate. So one of the things that I'm going to build on in 2025, right? One of the things that I'm going to build on from my learning in 2024 that I want to take into 2025 is celebration. Celebration, right? One of the words that for me in 2025 is celebration. Celebrating more. Celebrating my wins, celebrating my team's wins, celebrating my clients' wins, right? I'm actually going to write it down on my desktop. I have little notes all over my desktop, and one of my words, right? I like to take 3 words into the following year. Set intention. So one of my intentions for 2025 is celebration, because the universe seems to give those who are happy and celebrating a lot more, right? It's just the more you appreciate, the more you get. So that's one thing that I'm working on in 2025, right? Celebration. If that sounds like something you need to work on, right? What are the things that if you hit, you should celebrate? Don't say, okay, at the end of the year, if I get to 250,000 or 500,000 or 750, or if I cross 30 transactions this year, if I do X, Y, don't make it just a one size, one time goal. Give yourself incremental steps along the way, right? We call them stairs. Let's see if I can show you guys something here. So we call them stairs, right? And so you want to give yourself the opportunity to level up, and you want to give yourself the opportunity. I don't know why this camera just keeps reversing itself here on me. So let's see if we can't outsmart it here. Is that it? Is that going to work? I don't know. But what we want to do is we want to level up, right? And we want to go from this back of the stair, right? 1 to the base of the next stair, right? And then we want to jump here to the back of the stair, to the base, to the back of the stair, to the base, right? I know that's totally backwards. Can't help it. We want to give ourselves a lot of steps to appreciate and grow and take time. You're not going to go from 0 to 100, but you can go from 0 to 10 and you can have a reward. 10 to 30 and have a reward. 30 to 60 and have a reward. 60 to 80 and have a reward. It starts to get hard when you start getting up higher in the levels, right? 60 to 80 is a lot harder than 20 to 50, right? 80 to 90 might be a lot harder than it was from 0 to 10. Same 10, but one's a lot harder. And the reason why is because as we hit farther along the way, right, it gets harder. You got to put in more effort. You got to analyze more, right? The first 10 pounds you lose is relatively easy. The next 10 pounds, a little bit harder. The next 10 pounds, even harder. The next 10 pounds, even harder. It's why we quit after 10 pounds. The first 10 was cool. The next 30, it's a little bit more work. You got to be a little bit more intentional. Second thing, talked to a lot of people this year, and they said, I'm so excited for 2024 to end. Why? Because it wasn't exactly what you wanted. It wasn't perfect. It didn't go the way that you planned in your non-planning session of 2023, right? We planned for it to be better, but we didn't actually build a plan for it to be better. So I'll tell you, Cody and I sat down at the beginning of December and we said, okay, this is what we want our goal to be. All right. And then we took our average order size and we reversed engineered how many sales we need to be, right? Let's just say it's for easy math, it's 100 sales. I said, well, we're probably not going to be able to break it out 25, 25, 25, 25. right? Because there's called a ramp up period. I need to hire people. I need to train people, right? We need to battle test them in the field. They might not last. So the first month, our first quarter, is probably going to be slower than our last quarter. So we have a ramp up, but in real estate, it's actually an inverse. Typically, your first 6 months are busier than your next 6 months, right? And so have you built out your plan? Do you know what your schedule looks like? I don't want my clients to say 2024 wasn't the best year, and so I'm excited to get rid of it. No, I want my clients to say 2024 was a great learning year. I'm going to take what I learned in 2024 and I'm going to expand on it so that in 2025, I have exponential growth. You see, we want to forget if we weren't as successful as we wanted to be. That's wrong. That's the wrong way of thinking. You want to take what you learned in 2020, but Vic, I didn't learn what I wanted to learn. Well, maybe you need to go shake a different branch on the tree. Maybe you need to go to a new tree altogether, right? Maybe, as they say the saying, the dog's barking up the wrong tree. Maybe you've been working on the wrong things. I never want a year to go by where I feel like it was a wasted year. I want to take all of the pain, all of the successes, all of the growth, all of the lessons, all of the learning. I want to compound it every single year so that every year is better than the previous year. Every year becomes better. And when every year becomes better, do you see how we're going up the stairs instead of going sideways or down? Most people, because they don't take the time ever to say, hey, what was really good in the previous year? What did I learn? What do I want to continue doing? What do I want to not do? They go sideways or down, right? My mentor, Sharon, sent me a screenshot of a person, and this is an everyday occurrence in our world. Hey, I've been in the business for a lot of years, right? 20 plus years, and I feel alone. Hey, I've been in the business for 8 years and I feel like it's my first year. How could it be your first year? It's because you haven't stopped to expand on the learning. You never stopped to evaluate. You never had self-reflection of, hey, what did I do well? What could I have done better? What do I need to stop doing? What do I need to start doing? Who do I need to hang out with? What rooms do I... You never did that. You just thought the following year would miraculously change and your business would grow, but it doesn't work like that. If your business has been stagnant the last 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 24, 36, 48 months, January is just another day. 2024 and 2025, it means absolutely nothing different changes. Or if you're waiting for an election or you're waiting for a correction to make your business grow, you don't actually have the skills, right? You're not a salesperson, you're an order taker. Don't hate me, you're an order taker. Order takers don't survive. They don't thrive. They don't have the freedom and the luxuries and the cars and the trips. They just survive. They go day in and day out and pray to God that something changes. And it typically never does. Number 1, what are you going to celebrate more? Number 2, what were the lessons, right? What were the lessons that you need to take away from 2024, right? What were the lessons you need to take away from last week? What were the lessons you needed to take away from your last phone session? What were the lessons you needed to take away from your last listing or buyer presentation? Self-reflection, right? Evaluation. So critical in our success. We don't do it as humans. And the third, who do you need to be around more? Who are the people that you need to be around more, right? Somebody shared something with me and it's crazy, but somebody already has everything you want. Somebody has the business you want, the finances you want, the bank account you want. Somebody has the life that you want. And the question is, what are they doing differently than you? What are they doing differently than me? Right? We all have the same 24 hours. How are they using their time? What are their focus during those times? How are they managing their stress? What are their morning routines? What are their night routines? What are their lunch routines? What are their celebration routines? What are their family routines? What are their client routines? What are their presentations like? What are they reading? What are they not reading? What are they watching? What are they not watching? Who do they hang out? Where do they hang out? Everything in life has been done before, at least for what we do. Somebody's making $1 million in your market right now. Somebody's making $1 million in your market right now doing the same thing that you're doing. Maybe it's you, and I hope so. But if it's not, who do you need to be in the rooms with more, right? What are they doing that you're not? You can have all the things on the walls, discipline, right? You can have all the things on the wall, note to self, you're enough. No one needs to believe in you but you. Create the life you want. You can have the work hard, focus, keep grinding, dream big. If you're by yourself, it's hard to do those all the time, especially if you don't know what you're doing. Especially if you spent the last 7 years, 12 months, 6 months, listening to the agent give you the advice, but never checking to see if that agent was actually one doing it themselves and running the business, right, that you would want. 2024 has been an amazing year. I hope it was amazing for you too. If it wasn't what you wanted, reflect on it. If it was what you wanted, reflect on it. Did you celebrate enough? Were you grateful enough? Are you taking time every week, every day to do a little bit of self-reflection, 5 to 10 minutes, right? It's one of the things that I love about Joe Dispenza's night and morning meditations is the morning you visualize your perfect day. At night, you visualize through a third party, right? Visualize through a third party the things that you did throughout the day. And then you give yourself advice. Okay, today I got upset about that one thing about this, and this. Oh man, why did I get upset? Okay, what would you say to yourself so that you don't continue to do it? No day, no year, no week, no month, no quarter is bad. If you reflect daily on the things you do, quarterly, monthly, weekly, yearly, every day you improve. If you're grateful, every day is a beautiful day. It's a blessing, right? If you celebrate your wins along the way, you don't wait for something so big that may or may not happen. Like we may or may not hit our goal next year. It's a good size goal. It's to double plus our business. It's a good size goal. Like it's a lot. It's a lot of servicing. It's a lot of this. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of things we don't even know about yet. We might not hit it. We might hit it. But if we don't hit it, does that make us less? Does that mean that we should not celebrate for the accomplishments? Does that mean that our team shouldn't get to celebrate their accomplishments, their growth, their journey? Right? Wouldn't that be selfish that we only get to celebrate if we have $10 million a year? If we do $10 million, we get to celebrate. Isn't that crazy? Right? Isn't that what so many of us think though? We have to do, 40 transactions before we can go out and celebrate. Well, if you hit 20, does that mean you're a shitty human? No. So why don't you celebrate the wins along the way? And then at the end of the year, if you didn't get to where you want to go, you could still celebrate a great year and you can spend a little bit more time reflecting on what do you need to change, improve on, do more, do less. I hope 2024 has been an awesome year. I hope 2025, maybe you hear this at the end of 2025 and it's still going to apply going into 2026. It's one of those messages that just forever applies. Celebration, reflection, appreciation. Can't go wrong with those. So I've appreciated you this year. If this is the first time you're following us, slap a like onto that, hit the subscribe button, share this with some friends and family, right? The more you like it, the more you share it, the more we get the message out there. Because at the end of the day, it's always the same. We get what we appreciate and celebrate. So today, celebrate you, and I'll see you in the new year. Peace out.